Bro, I was fucking waiting for this. You have no idea how much I waited for this shit to happen. This is fucking incredible. I love it. Are you actually playing that game? Fuck no. Because of this. I'm so fucking happy. Holy shit. Okay. So, this is actually fucking huge. What the fuck am I looking at? A money spread, pretty much. That is the best equivalent to that. Me getting fucking one step closer to a $100 million fucking building erected in my name with like a golden statue of my face in front of it. What happened? Stupidity happened. Nijisanji did the stupidest fucking thing on earth, just in general, and I invested into it because I expected it. Okay. But can I get a room? No. Fuck you. Anyways, holy shit. Hi to everyone. Hi. Nijisanji actually released their financial results. That means numbers today. A little bit of numbers. Just a little bit. Happy you're up? You know what? Fuck it. We just go through it. We just go through financial results for fiscal year 2024, fourth quarter, June 12th, 2024. You know what? Fuck it. No, I'll start grabbing paint. This is the first fucking important thing. Realistically speaking, this is the most important thing to actually look at because they don't really overlay it too much on this entire financial report. Nijisanji JP, in and of itself, is the breadwinner. We all fucking know. Nijisanji JP has always made more money. Nijisanji EN is starting to make less money. Very, very fucking simple. But the thing is, people don't realize the reason why Nijisanji EN is actually not making as much money is simply because people don't buy all that merch. Not as much. Or, well, it's not as much as people do in JP. So that's step number one. That's completely simple. Live streaming, blah, 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 blah. I'll just fucking read this. Compared to the previous quarter, membership and advertising revenue remained flat. Super chat decreased as a reaction to the increase influenced by the Nijisanji festival in December. Whatever. Commerce, sales of Nijisanji 6th anniversary merchandise and the live event merchandise were strong, resulting in a significant year-on-year revenue increase. However, due to changes in the sales schedule in the commerce business during Q4 compared to the forecast, the results slightly fell short of the forecasts. Slightly is a good way of putting it. Event. In Q4, we held events such as Cronoir, One Man Live, Welcome to Wonderworld, Wonder Wanderworld, whatever the fuck that is, ROF, MAO, blah, 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 all this stuff. Pretty much Nijisanji, the big fucking breadwinners, events-wise, have been the Nijisanji AR Live Colors, the Virtual Rhapsody, and the NBA stuff. They actually put quite a bit of emphasis on the amount of VTubers that they have. The numbers of VTubers has been extremely important because Nijisanji in and of itself, this is something that I talked about extremely extensively. Nijisanji only really makes money outside of their big breadwinners through just debut merch. They never have really made all that much money after the first 6 months of a VTuber's debut. Simply because, let's be fucking real. How many of you guys in chat have been obsessed with something? Really thoroughly enjoyed like a hobby or anything of the sort? To the point where you would consume absolutely anything regarding that content, regarding that hobby, whatever the fuck. Quite a lot, I would say. And also, how many of you have just forgotten about it over time? How many of you, after being completely obsessed with something, just let it die down? A lot, I'd say. A lot of people just have it like that. Simply because, well, you can't keep someone into a certain hobby for an extensive period of time, especially when something like that is referring to something like streaming to begin with. What ends up happening in those circumstances is simply Nijisanji realized that. They started asking themselves, why is it that our VTubers are not making enough money anymore? Why is it that every single time that we actually go, for example, on Vox's, the Social Blade, or whatever the fuck, we start noticing, hey, his monthly gained subscribers and his monthly gained video views are just dropping down over time. Is it because his content is not great? Is it because we already capped out the amount of people that could subscribe to him? Or is it simply because people are not obsessed with him anymore? And people are just moving on to something else? And that's why Nijisanji actually wants to gain as many VTubers as possible, because they realized that during this first year or first 6 months, that's where all the money is. That's where all the fucking hype, anything that they can farm out of it, merchandise, that's when people will actually care about it. Because after a year or 2 years, people are just not going to be interested as much. And after those 2 years, a VTuber's subscriber count, or like gain or whatever the fuck, just goes down. It's not as high anymore. Obviously, Vox is a bit of a different example simply because he himself got into a little bit of drama with the whole like fucking, what was her name again? Doki Bird and everything. And he was in the apology video or like the talking about like talking to our shareholders, etc. So he got like a dip of 30,000. But still, even then, he was still making less than 10,000 subscribers a month from November 2023 all the way to January 2024. I don't even remember Victoria Brightshield or Kunai most of the time. That makes sense because the thing about the new guys, or just in general, a lot of like new people in Nijisanji or whatever the fuck, or like a lot of new hires, new VTubers, etc., they just don't get enough marketing. Or simply the hype for Nijisanji or just VTubers, at least for Nijisanji, has died down a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean quite a lot, actually. Especially compared to like when the first Nijisanji guy wave like came out. That's probably also why they don't care about someone graduating, because they'll have another VTuber later. Exactly. They don't really care too much about like people graduating unless you're the face of the company. If Vox were to graduate, it would be catastrophic for Nijisanji. So they're probably trying to keep him in by actually like trying to pay him as much as possible. But if anyone else were to leave that people just don't give a fuck about, it would be fine. It does not matter. Give him 1 or 2 years and he'll graduate? No, I wouldn't say 1 or 2 years. Maybe people would actually stay in for 3 years simply because they actually do enjoy it. A lot of people that actually do end up getting into Nijisanji, I hope to God that they read the contracts and they understand that if you're in a country in which there's privatized healthcare, the company will not pay for it. So you still have to work your 9 to 5 because you're not going to make as much money. So you're doing it out of the love of streaming rather than out of the gain of money out of it. Review by business area, live streaming, they actually made less money than last year. Which is wild, because if you start thinking about it, a lot of Nijisanji guys actually just make a lot of their own revenue through super chats. And we've had even more like streamers just in general. A lot of people that actually do end up making their money in Nijisanji is simply because of the 35% cut, around 35%, that's more or less what is speculated, of what they get through every super chat, because through every single piece of merch that they sell is around 2%. So this really just goes to show that even the biggest breadwinners, meaning Vox, meaning Kuzua, sorry, that's his name, Fuaminato, Kanai, etc., even they have been making less money, because if we have to be real, the smaller guys in Nijisanji make nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. They literally just messed up JP in promoting mixing alcohol with energy drinks. I saw that. And honestly, I kind of find it funny. Kind of. But that's just Nijisanji in a nutshell. They just like do a lot of mistakes. They don't actually like think it through. We don't hate Nijisanji. We hate their actions and how they're treating actually good VTubers. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Well, no, okay. I don't hate Nijisanji because of their action and how they treat good VTubers. I guess no, because of their actions is correct. Do you guys remember that one video that I actually posted on Twitter a while ago, where I was telling I was talking about a prediction while I was like playing through what's it called, Cult of the Lamb, and I was saying that the reason why like Nijisanji isn't really that good of a company, or they make a lot of like very weird things, is because they actually only care about the shareholders. If I could find that fucking video, it would be nice. Yeah, this one. I feel like corporals sometimes hold back a creator's creativity as they won't allow some stuff to happen. They may support them with money or something, but it sometimes doesn't have the creativity juice. You know why? For one simple reason. The company is public. What they have to do is not answer to what the fuck the community wants. What they have to do is answer to what the shareholders want, which is more money. Keyword. I used a specific word here. Shareholders. Why did I use shareholders? Simple. Do people in chat know the difference between a shareholder and a stakeholder? Do you guys know? If not, I can actually just explain it simply easily. Like very, very easily. Shareholders themselves only focus on possible financial return from investments. They don't really care about, how the company or the people inside the company are being treated. The stakeholders focus on the company's overall performance and how it treats its customers, partners, employees, how it impacts, I guess, the VTubing community at large, and other things as well. The reason why I said shareholders here and not stakeholders is because there's a big difference between Nijisanji and Cover Corp, which are the guys behind All Alive. If you think about it, why is it that we always hear this kind of dog shit coming from Nijisanji, but not from Hololive? Why is it that there's not any of this drama? Why is there none of this drama whatsoever? Because AnyColor doesn't care about this. Shareholders was the correct word, and I use it specifically for this. People could genuinely make a fucking book regarding how AnyColor and Cover Corp have been treating their own companies. You could literally make an entire fucking study and just make an entire paper out of this. It is fucking depressing, but at the same time, you could tell that that's what was going to happen. During all of this, I kept on saying, this shit is just going to bite their ass over and over. Short the company. Keep on doing it. Just short the company. That's the easiest way to actually make free money. Now, did I leave some information off the table? Of course I did. Because, well, I want to keep some information for myself for free. And, well, I don't want to advise people to actually start gambling. Because that's basically what I did yesterday. So pretty much, for the people that don't know, back in December of 2023, what Nijisanji did, or AnyColor, did was they noticed that their stock was starting to dip down a little bit. So they started repurchasing back their stock. Around 900,000 shares, if I remember right. Which was around 1.4% of their total that you could buy off of the share, excluding the treasury, obviously. That was 6 months ago. And they did it because there was a small little dip in the stock itself. So you see this one gigantic jump. This is because Nijisanji themselves decided to actually go back and do the same thing. But this time, they didn't just buy out 900,000 shares. This was more around 2 million. Did I see this coming? I guess you could say that. Did I advise anyone to do it? Fuck no. But it really is the only fucking reason why Nijisanji is up as a company. They just bought out as much as they could. And they just went guys, this is the perfect time to buy. Invest into the company because those investors will actually drive the stock market up for them. But some people may actually start asking themselves, oh, why is it that this is a flat line now? Well, this is where it gets into international economy and stuff. The TSE, or for short, Tokyo Stock Exchange, actually sets a hard limit on how much a stock can go up, depending on how much the stock itself is worth. And that is 500 flat. At under 3,000, if I remember right. I actually had the site pulled up because I didn't remember the exact numbers. Yeah, if it's under 3,000, the max it can go up, the stock itself is 500 yen. So realistically speaking, if this was not a problem, they would have done this. If this was not a limit, they probably would have gone higher. How much did you earn? I should have bought the shares. I'm not gonna fucking elaborate on that. No point. Obviously, is this legal? Yes, 100%. It was bound to happen. Probably a lot of people in Japan, considering that AnyColor in and of itself is a hot stock in the Japan Stock Exchange, or Tokyo Stock Exchange, whatever the fuck, they will see this and just go you know what, maybe I should actually invest. That's sad. It's just that, realistically speaking, Nijisanji actually spending so much money to buy back their shares is a gigantic knee-jerk reaction to try to just justify other investors into actually going into the stock itself. Because there's no, realistically speaking, no one would actually fucking invest in this piece of shit. Everyone would just short the shit out of the company. Given the hard limit isn't the only way it can go back down. No, just there is basically a cooldown. After a certain amount of time, you can the stock can go back up. It's just more for the day. But going back to the whole thing here, revenue by business area, commerce, events. By the way, the NBA event with Nijisanji actually made it here. If I remember right, it was 6% of the amount of profit that they made through events, which is super fucking stupid in my opinion. Revenue by quarter. Due to the timing of product sales and revenue volatility of each product in the commerce business, the balance of quarterly revenue fluctuates significantly each fiscal year. Then go fix Nijisanji and Firefox. I wouldn't say that, like, realistically speaking, if I had to be honest, if I were to actually be elected as CEO of Nijisanji, I'd close the company. Have we ever seen a single streamer go for longer than 5 years? Or 6? A couple, yeah. How many of them actually made it? Very few. How many of them made it through Corpo? Extremely few. And how many of them that have made it through Corpo for 5 years have actually made a sizable amount of income for the company itself? I can give you a list. We have Kuzua, Fua, Vox doesn't count, Kanae, Kaida, Akina, and that's about it. And they have made less than $1 million through super chats. If you don't know how it works for super chats, like, you know how on Twitch, for example, subscribers, like, the amount of money that you make through subs is actually cut in half, and Twitch pockets 50%. On YouTube, the way that it works is that YouTube takes a 30% cut off of every single super chat. Let's say you donate $10, YouTube takes 3. Nijisanji is a company. They have to make a profit. There's no fucking way that they pay 100% of the super chat to the streamer. So more or less what people have been actually thinking to themselves and, like, trying to just make sense of is, how is it that, like, how much money do the streamers themselves make? The general consensus seems to be that Nijisanji takes a 50% of the 70% that's left from the super chat money. Which means, let's take Kuzua through super chats themselves. Calculator. Wow, 2 million times 0.35, which is what's left. He made 700,000 through super chats. Cool, that's fine. Then let's take Mio. By the way, this is the list of, like, all the Nijisanji, like, people, not even just guys. This is all the Nijisanji people in the top 70 of super chat donations, which is fucking depressing. But 800,000 times 0.35, $280,000. How long has Mio been in the game for? Mio VTuber. Okami Mio. She has debuted back in 2018. That was 6 years ago. So through super chats, they made $46,600, which someone is going to say, oh wow, okay. That is actually, like, depending on the country that you live in, that is a pretty good fucking wage, I'd say, for a year if you're just streaming. The problem is, how many VTubers does Nijisanji have? And how many of them made it over this much money per year, on average? Mio's Hololive? Are they actually? Am I stupid? Oh, they are. Wait, oops. What the fuck? Why did I include them then? Wait, that's actually my fault then. Yes, you're blind. Never mind. Wait, actually, what is the stream category? Don't worry about it. But let's just say it doesn't matter. Wait, in this case, it doesn't matter. Let's just say that it's not through Hololive. Let's say that they've been there for 5 years instead. Let's say they've been there for 5 years with that much money. It's 56,000. Still, if you're not in the top of this much, realistically speaking, like, you're not making that much money through YouTubing. You're not. The main breadwinners are the ones that end up actually bringing all the money to the company itself. Mio's Niji now? No, they're not. So should I have taken advantage of the Niji stock when major drop happened? Absolutely. Absolutely. I only know Joel, but he can't do anything on his own, so he doesn't really count. Fair enough. 46k a year is peanuts if you want to have a mortgage and a car. I mean, it depends on the country that you live in. Let's say that you live in Southeast Asia. 46,000 US dollars a year is a wild amount of money. It really is, considering, like, the average wages and whatever the fuck. Let's say you live in Vietnam, as Yuzuru has been able to say, more or less, the average monthly wage over there is like 200 US dollars converted. That much amount of money is life-changing over there. Over in Europe or the United States, depending on the region you're in, that's nothing. Pretty good for JP, where a dollar is 156 yen at the moment. True. Average wages, do you mean to compare to the cost of living? No, that's a whole different like thing altogether. But houses cost a lot in the Philippines too. Yeah. Wages work, so yeah, it's more of a thing of like the easiest thing to like understand. In and of itself, year on year, Nijisanji, did they make more money? Slightly, yes. But who made the money? JP. So is there a problem of like, what's it called? Is there a problem of, is EN not bringing enough money? Is it the community's problem that they're not actually buying enough? Or is it literally just a cultural issue? Where in Japan, or like in Japanese culture, whatever the fuck, it's a lot more normalized to actually buy a stupid amount of merch to support your streamer. Or is it just EN people that are like completely forgetting about the company? In my opinion, I actually do think that it's a lot more based on the fact that it's a cultural problem. How many people do you know, just in general, to like all the people in chat right now, how many people do you know that have bought like VTuber merch? And how many people of them have bought it consistently? It's very little. 0? I did like once. None. Little. If I were to ask like friends that I know in Japan, they would say a bit. There's quite a bit. One, and that one is you. Fair enough. I do have an internet friend who's Kiara simp. None. Like half a person. Well, okay. Our sample size is very small, obviously. But still, if there's enough people like here in chat that know quite a few people that are at least like into VTubing, whatever the fuck. And we're not really buying merch, which is supposed to be like the biggest breadwinner for Nijisanji itself. How can they expect EN to keep on working? Their own plans for the future have been to just go out of their way and actually get more VTubers overall. They want actually more people because, well, they noticed that the money actually, at least in EN, only really comes from the debut merch. But if people don't buy that merch to begin with after the debut, then what's the point of keeping a VTuber? I'd rather buy game merch. Fair enough. Japanese fans are that supported, they will buy merch. I think that one of the main problems that Nijisanji has been having this entire time is just that they've been genuinely expecting that their own way of working with the company itself would work anywhere outside of Japan. It is extremely tone deaf, and realistically speaking, it is also extremely predictable. Especially when you consider the way that they've been treating people that have been like completely fired from Nijisanji, i.e. Zion, and also, well, Doki Bird. After knowing the 2% merch things, EN fan absolutely would not buy merch. I'll be honest, I don't think it matters. Because most EN fans for VTubing probably don't even know about the 2%. Not most, I'd say 50%. 50% of the VTuber fans don't even know that Nijisanji only gives 2% to the streamers themselves. A lot of people just buy it because it's like, oh wow, it's my first piece of merch. I actually really like the streamer. PDF 1. Financial results for fiscal year 2024 Q4. Financial results for the quarter year. Anycolor missed their yearly forecast by 3%. This quarter, they saw 8.7 billion in revenue. Interestingly, no separate charts for the two branches Nijisanji JP and Nijisanji EN anymore, but they show the real details in the appendix. We'll move on to that later. And that's why I ended up like actually bringing this image up, because yeah, I couldn't find it. Aren't the majority kind of normies so they don't keep up with drama? I wouldn't say so. I would say that no, I would say that the very, very faint majority, like exactly 50.01%, actually do keep up with drama, because that's one of the biggest things that actually like has been in full show with the whole Doki Bird shit. If the majority actually didn't care about drama, then Doki Bird would not have surpassed Ellen Tatsuki's peak subscriber numbers. And she just did today, if I remember right. The majority does keep up with drama, but not to the point where like they actually dig into the numbers and start asking themselves, okay, how is the VTuber turning a profit off of this? They do just understand a little bit of like, oh yeah, they're being treated like shit, Nijisanji's a bad company, that's it. But a lot of people just don't know about the cuts and everything. Anyways, while Anycolor claimed that Q4 would be their biggest year, the honor still goes to Q1 2024. And while revenue has increased, profits have started to stagnate. For comparison, Anycolor went from 19.7% profit in 2022 to 26.4% in 2023. This time, they've only increased by 0.9 for 27.3% net profit. Interestingly, revenues by business areas show that commerce, event, and promotions saw growth. Live streaming has taken a small loss. For their forecasts next year, Anycolor expects 39 billion yen in profit, a 21.9% increase. They plan to stabilize their quarterly fluctuations across the fiscal year, as performances like Q1 2024 were heavily weighted. In revenue by business area, live streaming saw 16% of revenue, promotion saw 18%, and events saw 6%. Commerce takes a lion's share with 59% of revenue coming from the sector. The finance section is where you will find numbers on how the two branches truly did, which is why, this image was made to begin with. Because they don't want to show it. But, yeah, it's pretty bad. I'll keep the results for Nijisanji JP short. They did quite well, and it seems like Nijisanji JP's failure to go to the West was a blessing in disguise of not getting hit by the Niji EN drama. As for Nijisanji EN... Oh wow, wait, this is actually really well made. Holy shit. Nijisanji EN this year saw an approximate 24% loss from 2023 to 2024. Going by last year's quarter, we can now safely say that Selen's termination led to a 20% decrease compared to last year's Q4. I actually don't kind of agree. I don't. We already went past, we already went by this earlier, right? With the fact that generally VTubers make most of their money through their first year. Wasn't Selen relatively, old? She was, 2021. So yeah, it was more or less until 2023 that she made the money. I genuinely still do believe that Selen's termination actually didn't affect, at least monetarily, and not through impact of PR and whatever the fuck. Only through monetarily, I don't believe that Selen's termination actually made that much of a difference. I really do believe that's the case. But obviously, they took such a gigantic PR hit that they started losing money entirely because of that. Selen made the most. But it was still, she was still going to start making less and less and less over time. And even then... Oh, because her channel got deleted, right? Does anyone remember the numbers for, how much Selen made through Super Chats? It would it'd just be kind of more accurate to say that EN side lost most of its team. Yeah, because they haven't had a single, VTuber in the EN side actually just be the next breakout VTuber. That drives a lot of, money. TTT hasn't made anything. The new Nijisanji wave got into drama. The guy from the new Nijisanji wave got into drama the day that they announced that they were even coming out, before they even debuted. It's just not going well. Oh wait, your channel has really helped change my worldview on corpo/indie corpo tubing. Used to think that those VTubers were making crazy bank. Absolutely not. 40,000 a year is so little. Well, okay, it's not 40,000 itself. It's 40,000 only through Super Chats. But for the bigger breadwinners, it's for them. They make a little bit more through merch and just promotions and stuff like that. But even then, only the top few actually do make that money. Everyone else is just left to rot. It's just a hobby for them. They're not even hired as an actual employee. They're hired as freelancers. I'm happy that my programmer salary with unlimited sick leaves and having 26 plus 10 bank holidays a year vacation. Grass is always greener. True. I'm getting quite deep. Do get some sleep. Is there something new about Vox I'm missing? No, not really. It's just I'm using him as a control subject because he's basically the biggest Nijisanji yen guy. Or just the biggest Nijisanji yen, just in general. And yeah, I just use his numbers as control. Going by last year's Q4, live streaming revenue saw a 35% loss. Promotion revenue saw a 15% loss, and their biggest revenue maker, commerce, or merchandising, also saw a 35% loss. However, for the first time, we do see revenue from events in Nijisanji EN. Hey, the NBA! They, however, failed to even cover half of the losses from the rest of their revenue sources. because the only real big events that they had were the Nijisanji like augmented reality live colors and virtual Rhapsody and the NBA. That's it. Only those three. Boniver graduated and when re-debuted, his numbers are better than he was in indie. Wait, who's that actually? Freelance, yeah? Yeah, okay. Management policy for midterm growth. This is where the reports begin to be repetitive. To keep it brief, here are the few notable things featured. According to AnyColor, 68% of their fanbase is female. Again, let's remove my mistake from here, being Mio. We see from like the biggest breadwinners, they're all guys. Unlike Hololive, most of the money in Nijisanji is made by like female viewers that actually watch guys. In Hololive, they only have girls. Well, Holostars exist, but realistically speaking, they make nothing. For age groups and for age groups, 20 to 29 make up 57% of their fanbase. Interestingly, nearly half of their revenue comes from VTubers that debuted in AnyColor's first 2 years. Control Group spoke about this, with those that debuted in their first year accounting for 30% of the revenue. AnyColor's midterm goals are currently are to see nearly double. AnyColor's midterm goals currently are to see nearly double in revenue and profit, with generic plans of strengthening their structure, hiring 10 to 15% more talents, and expect average revenue for talents to grow by 10 to 15%. That's copium. That's fucking copium. I'm sorry. 3 to 5 million yen are being invested into various projects. They have approximately 20 billion yen on hand. And interestingly, AnyColor for the first time showed operating risks such as reliance on popular talents and reputation risks. Wow! Salentatsuki and Fox Akuma. Unfortunately, it seems that their response to reputation risks is more compliance training, as well as strengthened internal controls, such as actions based on finding from third parties, potentially a reference to leaked documents. This is just their speculation. Which pretty much just translates to, hey, you know, we're just gonna fucking train you to not say shit or have any problems whatsoever. So the whole Salentatsuki stuff doesn't happen again, instead of just making their workplace better. Notice regarding the decisions on matters related to stock repurchase. That's the one thing that I mentioned. Actually, wait, I'm pretty sure that they actually did have it somewhere here. Yeah, they did. But it's not really, like, all too much. 20 billion, I love when my money's so great, it sounds like made up to my brain. Oh, it is yen. So it's like, how much is a US dollar to yen right now? Like 154, I think? Or is that a number that I actually just picked up from chat? I think. But the most notable thing of the report, outside of Nijisanji Yen's performance, however, is that AnyColor is once again buying back stocks. Hey, 6-month anniversary. They will be purchasing up to 4 million stocks, or 6.4% of their total issued shares. My fault, I said 2 million at the start of stream. Oops. With the total amount being paid out to be 7.5 billion yen. For reference, their January buyback saw them spend 2.5 billion yen. Do keep in mind, however, that total stock / amounts are approximate, and it may be more cheaper / expensive. Okay. TLDR / overall review. To put in simple metaphorical terms, AnyColor got a D+ for their financial results. While Nijisanji JP continues to be quite successful, they failed their forecasts. Growth is starting to slow, and their overseas is looking dire by the month. The future, in my opinion, is looking quite uncertain if they can't replicate their success outside of their top talents in JP. Honestly, they won't. Realistically speaking, EN is just completely different from JP. They just won't. The only real company that has made EN work, and is not really even a company, they just hired like already pre-existing talents, has been V Shoujo. And even then, it only really works well because people like Iron Mouse just don't lose that many viewers over time. If I actually do end up scrolling back on this, Iron Mouse has had a dip, but it's so negligible that it doesn't really matter. And even then, this was a subathon, I think? So she's been basically extremely consistent. As for earnings, I don't fucking know. But that's not the same as like Nijisanji is. D plus. Yeah, it's only a D plus because Nijisanji JP exists and they made like money. They are up, they're not down yet. Maybe no, okay, maybe D plus is not like I wouldn't even give it the plus. I would just say D. Because realistically speaking, EN or like the EN branch's possible growth was the reason why Nijisanji's like stock or any color stock was actually valued so fucking high. Like around here. Because people saw the potential growth in EN and they just went like, I'm dumping all of my money into this. They're gonna actually make fucking bank. And then people started adjusting their expectations about here. But if I remember correctly, I was able to find this as well, which is a comparison between Anycolor and Cover Corp and their Q4 money, pretty much. This should speak by itself. Minus 24 year on year is actually crazy though. Is it surprising? Because I don't think it is that much. How many people in EN have been making money? Or how many big streamers in EN have existed over the past few years? Over the past year, how many actually big streamers from EN have come out and debuted? I don't think that there has been a single one. Does Clawmark even count? No, it's like 100k. For a big corpo, yes. Yeah, there hasn't been anyone. Because wait, Nijisanji again. Here. 2024. This is 2022, 2023. Okay, so let's go by like June 2023. The people that have debuted since then have been Crisis, TTT, and however you pronounce this. I didn't even know that these two VTubers existed, completely. To be completely honest, I actually didn't know. I know her face, I didn't know about her. And I knew about these two, but mostly because this guy got into drama. I don't know. Shall we got a 1 hour long yap? I remember that there was something else. Oh, okay, there we go. That's the one thing. Management policy for midterm growth. From Anycolor, June 12, 2024. Business overview. We are the largest VTuber group in Japan and have developed multiple services anchored by each VTuber. Let's be honest, the only reason why Nijisanji is the largest VTuber group in Japan is simply because they have so many fucking talents. If it wasn't for that and they had like equivalent numbers to Cover Corp, no, absolutely not. We're the largest VTuber group in Japan with a wide variety of VTubers active in Japan and overseas, centered on the Nijisanji project. We're building a unique ecosystem by developing multiple services with live streaming as a starting point. Live streaming, expanding fan community, commerce, constructing engagement, live events, real-world connections, and promotion / corporate project sponsorships, improving brand recognition. Oh boy. The only thing that they improved with brand recognition is the fact that no one wants to be there. Holo literally said, Holo literally said a whole that they're not adding new people until the current gens graduate or retire. Smart. They're just dumping all their efforts into the current gen, making them feel like they're actually special, making them feel like they're actually bringing money, and making them feel like they're part of a project, rather than an expendable employee that could just be completely removed off of the company whenever they want, simply because they already exhausted all the money that they made through debuting. Someone tell Nijisanji that unique doesn't mean good. Also true. Long-term performance progress. We have seen steady growth in business performance since our founding in 2017, the beginning of the VTuber era, and have grown to become one of the largest VTubing production companies in Japan. Revenue, $1 million in JP, operating profits, number of affiliate VTubers at the end of term. Oh boy. They have 158 VTubers. I actually didn't know it was that many. We're the worst VTubing company I've heard of, but did you hear of us? 158. I think that like what Anycolor is doing in all of this is saying that like, oh guys, we have 158 VTubers. We are the biggest company. We're good. Look at our numbers go up. And that's like one of the reasons also why they showed how many VTubers that they got over time. They could have 10 million VTubers, in my opinion. But crack fiends bought 10 million rocks during the crack epidemic. And that doesn't make crack good. Having 158 VTubers doesn't make the company good simply because you just have a lot. That doesn't make sense. Our business model. A few VTubers are selected from approximately 10,000 auditioners and debut after 6 to 12 months of training. After the debut, we foster a fan community through live streaming, etc., and we build an ecosystem for each VTuber. Selection and training of VTuber candidates through VTA. Oh yeah, I forgot that the Virtual Talent Academy existed. I'll be honest, I thought that thing imploded. Virtual Talent Academy. Oh wow, they actually have like an entire fucking like thing. I thought this thing actually exploded. Oh my god. VTA has held auditions on a regular basis since its establishment in 2021, June, to secure future Nijisanji VTuber candidates. Live streaming percent of revenue is 16%, commerce is 59%, promotion 18%, and event is 6%. We read this one. Revenue from sources such as Super Chat, YouTube membership, and Google AdSense, 16%. Commerce is just merch. Promotion is projects, sponsorships, fees, whatever the fuck. And events is the NBA. Hey! Okay, quarterly fluctuations in each business model. Quarterly revenue fluctuate depending on when events, etc. are held, and whether there is a smash hit. More than short-term revenue fluctuations, long-term growth will be achieved by expanding the revenue base through continuous VTuber growth. Oh boy! Number of VTuber, what the fuck? There's not a single number in here. What is the reference point? None of this matters, because there's like nothing to be able to reference to. The only thing that's really funny to look at is the stable progress, even though it's stagnation. Events, quarterly fluctuation based on the timing of events which are held. They had nothing here. Okay. Anycolor's market environment. With anime and video streaming content gaining popularity, I don't think it's gaining popularity. If anything, I think it's like permanently stagnant or like dying down, if anything. I think that that's a fucking reach. But sure. With anime and video streaming content gaining popularity, VTubers are developing various markets as influencers, especially due to the shift from traditional media among the younger generation and Generation Z. Domestic VTuber market size forecast. Okay. And virtual idol VTuber market size forecast global. Oh boy! Global? By 2020... Okay, no. I have to say at least this. I don't think that Nijisanji will exist by 2029. If it does, I'll actually give $10,000 to every single person that is in chat right now. Just fucking say hi for the picture, I'll take a screenshot. By 2029, $10,000. If this company still exists. I mean, the industry map keeps going, but I don't know about Niji. Don't hi, I was here. Yeah, there you go. Hear me out. What if Niji got a skibidi VTuber? Run me my money? I'm deadass confident that by 2029, they're like gone. Hi, money. Give me the 10 bands. Alright, hi, cool. I'll take a screenshot. If I join Nijisanji and keep it alive till 2029, if by 2028 Nijisanji isn't already dead, I will make sure to join and fucking have the company explode from the inside. No chance. But chat, we have dementia, we won't remember this? Yes, you will. And you want to know why? I'll do this right now. I would be so fucking mad if they're not dead by then. Nijisanji is big in Japan, though? Yeah, but they're not growing. Let me open the Nijisanji, just Nijisanji in general. Where is this? Nijisanji project. Okay, how many VTubers have released recently? And how many of them even popped off to begin with? Let's say this guy. This fucking guy. It's called Wen. Oh my god, his name is Wen. Wen. He has 112,000 subs. When did he debut? March 2023? Nah, the company's dead by then. Nah, okay. I'm back to being full confident. They're not making it. Don't worry about it. My money, I'm fine. The confidence grows. This completely sealed it. Thank you, Karu. Thank you. None of you guys are getting a cent. Anyways, Anycolor's market environment. It is assumed that the top two companies, including Anycolor, account for more than half of the market sales. Oh boy. Large companies can easily leverage their superiority through infrastructure and the use of existing communities. Conceptual representation of Japan VTuber market share. Any color. Competitor A. Others. I wonder who this competitor is. Anyways, background of concentration in major VTuber firms. Vertical launch of new VTubers use. This is such a bad fucking image. Holy shit. What the fuck? Vertical launch of new VTubers utilizing existing communities in simultaneous training and debut of multiple VTubers. Damn. This is what I like to call number inflation. We provide high quality... Bro, is this a fucking stock image? Features of any color. Diverse fan base. Oh boy. We are building a broad fan base of all gender and ages, especially among young adults and Generation Z. A particular feature of any color is its large female fan base, especially in terms of merchandise purchases. Age group 40% and 40 and older is 7%, 30 to 39 is 14, 20 to 29 is 57, and 19 and younger is 21%. Features of any color. Revenue spread across VTubers. Oh boy, okay. Wow, damn, okay. A stable system in which revenue is spread across a wide range of VTubers rather than being highly dependent on the top tier, which is often the case in the industry. Where's that? Bro, come on. We can all see that that's cope. Come on. We can all see that. A stable system in which the revenue is spread across a wide range of VTubers rather than being highly dependent on the top tier, which is often the case in the industry. Can I just do this instead? Nijisanji Ien. Vox Akuma, 1.482 million. Luca Kaneshiro, 726,000. Pomu Rainpuff, 631. Mista, 600k. Revenue contribution by debut year. Before fiscal year 19. What? 58 VTubers. God damn, in 2019 they have 58 already? Fiscal year 20 there was 31. In fiscal year 21 there was only 5 VTubers. What? That's so little. In fiscal year 22 there was 22, sorry. 23 there was 30, and so far in 24 in 24 just in general there's been 12. Revenue contribution by VTuber. Revenue contribute. What the fuck? 1 to 5. Wait, what does this mean? Huh? Wait, what the fuck does this mean? Chat, I needed a little bit of help because I don't know how to fuck to read this graph. I have no idea what the fuck this means. Revenue contribution 1 to 5? What the fuck is this? Is it like the top breadwinners, how much money they make compared to the other ones? I think it is. But doesn't this literally mean that they're overly reliant on like the top 10 VTubers because they literally make like a third of the money? Yes, it does mean that. A stable system in which revenue is spread across a wide range of VTubers rather than being highly dependent on the top tier, which is often the case in the industry. Huh. Okay. Sure. Management policy for midterm growth. Midterm management goals. Aim to increase sales by 88%. Yikes. And operating profit by 94%. Oh boy. In fiscal year 2027 compared to fiscal year 2024. $10,000. Are you rich now? I guess. $10,000 to anyone that is... No, okay. I'm not doing that again. Important policies and midterm management goals. Along with the continued efforts to nurture and debut VTubers, revenue per VTuber is increasing through the strengthening of the ecosystem. Number of VTubers, revenue per VTuber, million JP. Are they... There's no way that they actually want to get like 200 plus VTubers. There's no way. Both the number of VTubers and revenue per VTuber are expected to continue at a growth of 10 to 15%. Wait, I have a chance? I mean, I would say that they're getting kind of desperate at this point. Sure. For now, bro is going to be homeless in 2029? No, absolutely not. For now, I'm 100% confident that Nijisanji won't exist by then. Strengthening the business foundation. Increase employees and business area of VTuber management and planning. Strengthen of VTuber management structure and investment studios. Continuous production of VTubers. Plan to increase the number of VTubers by an average of 10 to 15% per year through new debuts. Strengthening virtual talent academy initiatives. Increase the number of unique VTubers in previously unexplored areas with the aim of expanding the long-term fan base. Oh my god! I can get picked! The Aspen Gold of VTubing. I wanna die. Increasing revenue per VTuber. Expect an average annual growth of 10 to 15%. Okay, I'll be honest. How the fuck do they genuinely expect to increase the revenue per VTuber if they themselves have shown that VTubers only make money through the first or second year? Start abducting fans' family. No! If VTuber makes OnlyFans, I mean, there's a VTuber that did that. You could do that. They should do what Hololive does and focus on their current talents. To be honest, they're not going to do that because they know full well that it's easier to have expendable freelancers, not even employees. It's a lot easier to have expendable freelancers farm money off of their debut, dump them the moment they actually start like misbehaving or realizing that they're being basically like treated like complete shit or being paid complete misery compared to, you know, what they should be paid. And there we go. There's an entire agency focused on OnlyFans and adult content. What? Send? Okay. Invest in nurturing top VTubers. Oh, invest and nurturing. No, oh my god, I'm zooming into this one. Invest and nurturing top VTubers who will lead the industry through the development and growth of unit production. So pretty much, all the smaller VTubers, the ones that didn't pop off, fuck them. Expendable. Fuck all of you. Expand each VTuber's fan community through the enhanced planning in the commerce area, as well as avoid opportunity loss and expand sales opportunity through schedule management. That's whatever. Strengthen Any Colors Foundation to support VTubers. In addition to the debut of new VTubers, we'll continue to increase the number of employees in each area and strengthen existing VTubers and promote unique production. Blah, 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 blah. They're hiring more people. Capital investment in distribution studios. Over fucking motion capture and recording, whatever. That's fine. Strengthening unit production. Accelerate VTuber unit development, leveraging our diverse... Okay, I'll be honest. Accelerating VTuber unit development is the stupidest fucking idea ever. We all saw what the fuck happened with Zion. We all saw that. Now, no hate for her, but realistically speaking, the shit she said on stream shouldn't have been said. And that was already after fucking training, because they themselves said, like earlier into the fucking document, that they trained these VTubers for 6 to 12 months. And if after 6 to 12 months, this is what happens, and they're actually accelerating this thing, it's gonna go so much worse. It's gonna go so much worse. Wait, who's Zion? The person that made a rape joke. And other, like, weird things. Develop a stronger fan community through the growth of existing units and the formation of new units. Example of unit development measures RFMAO. Individual activities. Showing the natural... I can't read. EN doesn't get training, it's only for JP. So all of this is literally just for JP. Actually, I do understand it. I do get it. That makes so much more sense. Malco said she joined EN because she wanted to skip the training. Are you serious? That's actually kind of funny. I actually genuinely respect that. Okay. Smart of Nijisanji. They just grab fucking streamers that already have numbers. They just instantly jump them in. They spend like no money. 100% profit. JP is their profitable branch, so the resources go there makes sense. It's stupid. There's like... Why would they ever want to do this when the only reason why the stock was this far up to begin with was the fact that people had expectations that the company would actually thrive outside of Japan. If they actually dump all of their resources in Japan, then they're just going to have to shut down the entire EN branch. Because it's just going to be a fucking liability for their own stock. It makes no sense for them to do. But honestly, considering the amount of bullshit that Nijisanji has done, making no sense is the bang fucking minimum. Positive feedback, such as returning fanbase. Oh my god! Unit activities. Potential to expand to different fanbase when working with as an individual. And then there's merch. Strengthening of commerce expansion. Develop a system to supply wider range of items demanded by the fan community through the expansion of staff. Increase revenue per VTuber by maximizing the potential of commerce. Expansion of product planning and production lines. Expand the number of personnel who can plan and proceed with products. Manufacturing capacity can be secured, strengthening product development appeal, unit synergies, etc. Establish a system that can provide a stable monthly supply of products in need. Managing appropriate sales schedules, product planning in line with current trends. So just photo cards, fucking puppets, and that's it? Long-term vision. Oh boy. Live streaming. Did I just read TV? No, okay. Live streaming. Live event. That goes into commerce, which is merch. That goes into tied up ads. That goes into idol/music. That goes into overseas business. I'm sorry, this thing is catching on fire. That goes into television. And will replace a replacement of broader entertainment industry driven by the expansion of the metaverse. Next up, the next circle will say world domination. They crashed and burned at step 6? Yeah, they kind of did. Well, JP is different because they actually did make it to television. That I do know of. But... Come on. Market size year on year. Domestic anime industry, 1.5 trillion JPY. 2.8% extra. Internet distribution streaming, 165.2 billion JPY, plus 7.1%. Live entertainment live, plus 70%. Merchandising goods, plus 0.9. Oh boy. Video ads industry, 12%. Domestic industry, 42.3%. Overseas anime industry, 11.1%. Appendix. Our vision. Whoa. A new magical experience. Next entertainment factory. I'll be honest, the only real entertainment that I've been getting off of Nijisanji is me laughing at how dogshit their actual management is and how much drama they've been getting into. It's been the best fucking experience of my life. I'm so glad that I became a VTuber just for this fucking seeming pile of shit. Truly magical. We use technology to change entertainment. We will continue to deliver more free, more diverse, and more detailed content. We aim to deliver a magical new experience to the world. What follows is entertainment economic zone. The way people live and work will change dramatically in the near future. True. The time has come to devote time to something more creative. At the same time, this is an age where there is no barrier between users and creators. A new cycle of consumption and creativity will accelerate the entertainment economic zone. We will influence the daily lives of people around the world as an instigator of this new area. Who's VTuber? Virtual VTuber. What? Why did they put this at the far back? Nijisanji USA branch? No, it's mostly JP with an EM branch. This is for the whole thing. Character. What? Are they seriously saying that a VTuber is not an anime character? Are you kidding me? More human touch than anime, leveraging motion capture technology. Interactive communication through live streaming. More human touch than anime? I don't know. This seems anime to me. I will say. Interactive communication through live streaming. Okay. Streamer, not an idol. Well, it kind of seems like it with the fucking community. Performs whatever you want in virtual world. Excludes risks / scandals related to personal. VTuber, not a YouTuber. What? What the fuck? A VTuber is not a YouTuber? Diverse and deeper background story of virtual character. Develops business into commerce and tie up ads as an IP character. What? What the fuck is this? Wait, what the fuck is the point of this? Is this literally just them saying like, guys, we're unique. We're totally not like everyone else. Trust me, believe us. We're not actually leveraging on the fact that we're trying to get as many people from the idol community as possible with all of our covers, and the fact that we actually need and require streamers that actually do join Nijisanji to be able to sing. Totally not. We're not anime characters, even though we have lores that actually rival fucking anime characters to begin with. And we're not YouTubers, even though we end up streaming on YouTube to begin with, which technically makes us YouTubers. But whatever. Was this a troll like the joke during the presentation? No, this was Nijisanji stuff. Our comprehensive support system for VTuber. Oh boy. VTuber concept. In-house production team considers worldview, illustrations, and other VTuber concepts. Step 1. Step 2. Audition. Application from diverse universe of potential streamer. Step 3. Lesson of VTA, VTuber Academy. Fostering VTuber who can be active in the long midterm through the development of streamers' techniques and mindsets. Step 4. Live streaming tools for streamers, supporting various live streaming, including 2D streaming and high-quality 3D streaming. High quality, pushing it. Also, I have to say, what the fuck is this? Step 5. Debut. Debut as a VTuber of Nijisanji and engage in live streaming and other activities. Notice, there's no more anything other than Step 5 in debut. After they debut, what do? We fucking forget about them. Nijisanji in a nutshell. Fun. Step 7, actually no, Step 6 would be milk the shit out of them for VTuber like debut merch, and Step 7 is like fire them, I'd say. Business risks and measures to address them. Oh boy. Risks. Human resources. Risk overview. Hiring talented people to support business expansion is critical to our continued growth. There's a possibility that recruitment will not proceed as expected due to factors such as intensifying competition and changing market needs. There's a possibility of outflow of current employees from the company. Yeah, we've seen that. Policy for addressing the risk. Actively recruit new employees and create a comfortable working environment and a human resources system. Strive to enhance training programs, etc., in addition to training through work so that employees can fully demonstrate their abilities after being hired. Reliance on popular VTubers. As we develop content and IP services centered on VTubers, there's a structure in which revenue is dependent on the popularity of specific VTubers. Okay. There's a possibility that our business performance will be affected when popular VTubers stop their activities, graduation, retirement, etc. Policy for addressing the risk. While this is an inescapable feature of our business, in reality, our revenue is distributed among a large number of VTuber. And we recognize that the risk on dependence is a specific VTuber. No. On dependence on a specific VTuber is not likely to materialize. Huh? Nah. Like, I get it, Nijisanji and it's its own thing. But come on. Come on. We will address the risk of VTubers moving on to the next stage of their careers by enhancing our support system and by developing a system that can support a wide range of activities as desired by the live streamers. Strengthen system. Wait, no. Reputation risks. Oh boy. The course of developing content and IP services, there exists a possibility of video streaming or activities that may lead to violations of public order and morals or infringement of intellectual property rights. I think that what they're saying is that if they lose their top VTuber, they won't die as a company. I'll be honest, I'd say that if Kanae and Kozua decided to just fucking dip, Nijisanji would just lose their star power and it would kind of go to shit. Kind of. Them saying that, like, the risk of dependence on a specific VTuber is not likely to materialize, in my opinion, is cope. If Niji lost, like, 5 of their top talents, they'd be in shambles. Yeah, they would be. Not even 5, maybe, like, 2. There's a possibility that VTuber activities or reputation may be affected due to scandals or public outrage against affiliated live streamers. This seems very akin to a certain story called Doki Bird and everything. But also think for follow. Without Chronoir and Vox, they take a huge hit. Yeah, the only reason why I ended up saying about JP is because at this point, it very much seems like this entire fucking document was made to just say, Ian does not matter anymore. The only thing we care about is JP. They exist, but we're not going to talk about them. So I took JP as the biggest example. In my head, they have slave contracts. In my head, they don't have slave contracts. The ones that do have slave contracts are the ones that don't bring in that much money. And the money that they actually do bring in, like to Nijisanji with their cuts, actually goes to the guys at the top. Policy for addressing the risk of reputation. Strengthen systems to respond promptly to inappropriate activities and protect against reputation damage. Oh boy. Including thorough compliance training for affiliated live streamers and content management, as well as strengthened internal controls, such as actions based on findings from third parties. Oh boy. Sustainability. Identifying materiality, protecting intellectual property, healthy and sustainable activities of streamers, training and discovering streamers, responsible content creation, human rights, employee development, That's a lot. You know what? I'll just skip reading this. It's protecting intellectual property. We have many IP rights, including the visuals of our VTubers, and have established intellectual property handling regulations to appropriately protect these rights. Bless me. We have established a system to detect infringements by our IP by third parties and respond to such infringements in an effective and flexible manner. We have established guidelines for derivative works to allow fans to create derivative works using our copyrighted materials within certain limits. Responding to defamation issues. Oh boy. We have established a countermeasure team for offense and defamatory behavior. Oh my god, it's counter-terrorists. We're playing CS. It's CTs. To appropriately respond to defamatory and offensive actions against VTubers belonging to any color. To systematically implement countermeasures against defamatory and offensive actions. We have established the anti-defamation study group with video streaming and posting platform operators, creator-affiliate companies, and experts to share information among stakeholders. That's a lie, it's shareholders. Get it right. And make policy proposals to the government. I know that they said stakeholders because this makes sense with the whole defamation stuff, but you don't treat them as such, it's shareholders. As an institution for continuously producing long-term active VTubers, talent development by the way, we have been running the Virtual Talent Academy since June of 2021, providing training in various skills and expertise to become active as a VTuber. After the debut, in addition to daily support by managers, we provide a support system that includes periodic compliance training, a system to subsidize the cost of health checkups, and support for counseling sessions. By the way, in Japan, any negativity is considered libel, even if it's the truth. Really? Hey, I'm glad that I'm not fucking Japanese, because if not, I would be moving just to be able to post this into a video. All shareholders are stakeholders? Not really. Not fully accurate, because there's a difference between shareholders and stakeholders. Yeah, they all are, but using that word specifically is kind of being intellectually dishonest about the way that you actually do treat the people that invest into your company. I mean, I have to do compliance training, it's normal practice, but the issue is that the company is kind of sketchy. In my opinion, I'm guessing that the compliance training in this is do what we say or you're fired. Disclaimer, this material includes forward-looking statements. These forward-looking statements were created and based on the information available at the time they were created. They do not guarantee our future results and involve certain risks and uncertainties. Please note that the actual results may differ materially from those described in the forward-looking statements due to changes in economic environments or any other factors. Anycolor is not obligated to update or revise any content Anycolor is not obligated to update or revise any content of the forward-looking statements within this material, even in cases such as where new information becomes available for future events take place. Information contained within this material on any other topics besides Anycolor is quoted from published information in other sources. As such, the accuracy, appropriateness, etc. of such information has not been verified, nor do we guarantee them thereof. The material is an English translation of the original Japanese language material and has been prepared solely for reference purposes. No warranties or assurances are given regarding the accuracy or completeness of this English translation. In the event of any discrepancy between the English translation and the original JP1, the original Japanese language document shall prevail in all aspects. So what they're saying is that they can't be asked to check for translation for inferior non-Japanese speakers. Well, they don't have to. They only really translated this to English out of the goodness of their hearts because they realized that, like, the only people that should care about this is Japanese people. That's about it. A week ago, I would never think I'd enjoy 2 hours digging into a financial report. I'm so sorry for every single one of your time, because this shit is tragic. But, not bad. Not too bad. So are we taking bets to when the stock actually goes down? No, I'm kidding. They want foreign investors? They don't anymore. They don't anymore. If they actually wanted foreign investors, then 100% they would have actually put more resources into the EN branch. Because by having more investors, by having like more popularity into the EN branch, instead of like having a single tweet that says, guys, we're debuting, then, you know, they would have had more chances of actually having like a higher stock.